I was waiting for you to come back, just in case you wanted to, mimic and puppet as you normally do, rather than sort of not being able to. Welcome to Tanked Up, the podcast about video games and beer. It's episode 204, I believe. I'm Ben. I'm here with Adel.
Hey.
And Lucy.
Oh.
Hello to you both.
Hello.
How you doing, Lucy? You good?
Yeah, I'm well. How are you
Excellent.
guys?
Yeah, I'm alright. Yeah.
Good,
Adel?
good.
Yeah, quarantine-ish type feelings.
Lockdown!
Yeah.
Sort
I'm
of.
fine. Things are fine.
Good.
I had another slow day is all.
My days are like speeding up at the moment. I don't know what
Really?
Yeah.
Mine are like
it's
peaks and troughs. Like I have days where it's like, I'm so bored with things, I guess I'll work. And then like the day flies by. And then I have days where it's like, I guess I'll just kind of watch things. And then when I get bored of one thing, I'll flip to another thing and watch that. And it's like, oh, I guess it's 5 o'clock. Well, the day's basically done. I guess I'll just eat something and I don't know, maybe watch a thing.
Yeah.
And then
it's
I'm
like-
not happy with any of that, but the days still feel so long and yet nothing happens.
And now-
I just looked at the clock today and it was like, it's 5 o'clock already. It was 10 o'clock in the morning, like 2 hours ago, I'm sure. So, I don't know.
Did you lose yourself in 90s
In the moment?
X-Men or
I didn't
one
watch
of the
any
other
of that.
Disney
What?
Plus
Yeah.
things?
Yeah, my sister made a subscription, and I was like, I don't want to watch anything on Disney Plus. I don't like the Marvel movies. Don't like Star Wars. Well, I have no comment on the new ones. But I'm sure I wouldn't like them. But yeah. But then I was like, oh, what can I possibly look for? Because I was like, Simpsons. Ooh.
Mm.
And then it's all like Goose Troop, Darkwing Duck.
Yeah, it's basically
Chippendale.
the combination of the like old school Disney cartoons plus old school Fox cartoons.
Mm.
Yeah, and what I wasn't expecting was to just watch The Simpsons instead of any of that stuff. So, no, I was expecting that. What I didn't expect was how many of these cartoons that seemed like they ran for like 12 years only
And were,
had
like,
like
two
two seasons.
Yeah,
Mm.
they literally did run for 2 years, so it's just the same 24 or 48 episodes or
Yeah,
whatever.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Let's open some beers.
Okay. It's me.
I'm going to start this week, because I never start. I'm opening up a beer called Mind Control, which is from Left Handed Giant. It is a 6.5% IPA, and it was brewed as part of Global Gathering, an initiative set up by our friends at Brewgeder to help bring clean drinking water to developing countries. The hops are Cryo Simcoe, Cryo Mosaic, Cryo Amarillo, and Nelson Sauvon. I have already had one of these a few days ago, but I know. Well, I bought two because the Brewgeder Global Gathering was meant to happen the weekend just gone, kind of during this week. They had absolutely tons of breweries lined up, all brewing special beers for this Global Gathering to try and raise as much money as possible to get clean drinking water to as many people as possible. And obviously that has all kind of stopped, or the events that they were organised with. There was a big event organised by 4Pure where they were going to have a load of these beers, loads of cask beer that people had made for it and stuff. So I thought I'd drink this one on the podcast as Left Handed Giant released them to their web store when I put my deliver by bike order through last week.
Right.
So yes, just to highlight that people should try and seek out these beers from all of these different breweries. But that's what I've just splashed all over myself. Lucy, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking a beer from Gipsy Hill, and it is their Wader beer. I don't think this is part of their core range. Don't think so. Might be wrong. But yeah, they've got all these it's always a like in trade like name to all their beers, or it always ends in ER like
Right.
some of the other ones. Memory's gone blank. But anyway, this one is a 5.5% IPA. Let's have a look. Right. Wader is a New England style IPA, liberally hopped with Southern Hemisphere favourites Galaxy, Kahatu, and Vic's Secret. It is fermented on our house Vermont yeast to pump up the juicy stone fruit aromas, and it goes well with uncharted waters. Yeah, not much else to say. Yeah, 5.5% IPA.
Has it got a picture of someone in waders on the can?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well done, Ben.
Good. Adel, what are you drinking today?
I've got from our friends over at, why am I blanking on them? Duration. I've got the Deep Roots Carrot Saison.
Ooh.
It's got German Pilsner malt, Golden Naked Oats, smoked German wheat malt, purple haze carrots. The yeast is Belgian blend and the hops are Saz. Good things take time. Relationships, brewery projects, even carrot beers. This saison is our take on a Belgian wit using purple haze carrots and charred lemons. In life and beer, we're always evolving and learning. Take things slow and set down deep roots. It is a paltry 3.5%.
Not nearly enough for these times.
Yeah.
Oh,
really,
starting super light after our extravaganza last week.
Yeah. I've been drinking a lot. Well, actually, I'm drinking less than nights at the pub, but it's very easy to like have dinner with my housemates and then have a couple pints with them, or like tins.
Yeah.
And then realizing that, of course, we're all on lockdown, so we're taking turns cooking, so we're always having dinner together. So we're always kind of having a couple tins. And then if I'm like, yeah, and then it's like, oh, well, let's play Jackbox with some friends. I'll have a couple more tins. It's like, oh, I gotta slow down.
Yeah, how was that? I completely missed that.
That was pretty good. We play. Well, let's finish the beers, and then we will talk about the games.
That's fair. That's fair. So this Mind Control from Left Handed Giant, it's got a lovely light nose to it, but you're getting that, and everything else in there I think was cryo. That Nelson Sauvigne's coming through just with a little bit of a grapey note to it. It's almost like a grapefruit, but then leading into this kind of slightly winey, grapey, almost sort of sour note on the nose. You can see it presented. Oh, I've turned my glass around the wrong way. You see it presented in my lovely new Left-Handed Giant glass.
Yeah, it's
as well.
beautiful, that is.
Pick one up. You didn't even steal it from the brewery.
Exactly. I bought it like a good boy, but
Yeah.
I got 25% off of my order, so essentially it was free.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
nice.
It
So
was
that's what
traded
I'm-
for 25% off of your beer.
Yeah.
So next time you order, get one for me. I'll pay for you the money.
Well, I'm thinking of it. I don't know who I'm going to go for next. I want to sort of spread the love a little bit
Yeah.
and try
Arbor
and...
just put on
Arbor? Yeah.
a big sale this morning, but then it seems like they got swamped and they put a note on that everything was sold out, and they're like, we are not ready to be selling right now.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think they got social media bombed in a way they weren't expecting.
Sure. Well, that's good. It's good for them to have sold out all of their beer at this
Yeah, a
moment in
lot of
time.
these independents are, doing well under the circumstances. Obviously not the most ideal position, but
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of the places say, oh yeah, we sold out in 10 minutes. And it's like, okay.
Yeah,
you
that's
lot
good.
should be okay.
It's mostly cask beers that are...
Yes, and I did see lots of people kind of offering like bottling services and things. You know, if people can get their cask over to them, they can bottle their cask. So at least then beer can still be sold. So it's not just sat in those, all chucked in casks or kegs or whatever it is kind of in, not to be sold. So hopefully a lot of people kind of trying to take advantage of those collaborations where they kind of can, those logistical collaborations where they can. Bit more difficult now, I suppose, after the increase in kind of social distancing measures and all that sort of stuff. But we'll see kind of what happens. And we'll talk about a little bit more of that in a moment. This beer is super hazy. It's a lot more difficult to see, I suppose, now that there's less clear space on the glass. But super hazy, a little orangey. And the nose kind of mimics the flavour really well. So you have a nice, easy sort of grapefruity start to it. And then it does build into that more slightly soury grape note towards the end. There's almost no bitterness to it at all. It is very, very easy to drink. It's got a little bit of viscosity to it. It actually makes it kind of soupy. And I've not had a sort of a slightly thick, soupy kind of beer for a while. Probably since last summer, maybe. But it just has that little bit of viscosity to it. Just to give it a bit of a heft to its body. But yeah, really nice. Very, very easy.
Good. That's what you need at a time like this. Something
It
that
is.
Not back.
So, Lucy,
Yeah.
how's yours?
Just taking a picture, sorry.
Oh,
And now I actually have a half decent phone, so my pictures won't look like ass all the time. So
get those snaps in now, mate, while there's something in the glass.
mine is like yours. This is like Merc City. Like, can't see anything through that.
Looks really light, though.
Yeah. It's like
from what
white yellow versus.
I think that's my lighting. It's a bit more dark. It's darker yellow than that.
Yeah, fair enough.
Going to a tinge of orange.
Your Connect definitely seems to be giving quite a wash to your picture.
Yeah, it's quite bright, which is easier for me because like now I don't have to set up like just 20 lights so people can actually see. But yeah, we'll figure that out. We'll figure this out. But yeah, as soon as I cracked open the tin, just instant smell of like mango, and like even now, yeah, just massive like tropical fruit notes. Ooh, that's really piney. Like really piney.
Yeah.
Wow. I like that. Nice pininess.
Good.
Nice lingering bitterness and pininess. You're honestly not getting that much of that, like, tropical fruits. I mean, you're getting that kind of sensation because it is, like, very smooth. Very, very soft. So you're getting that, like, almost juicy kind of texture to it. But then that just gives over to, like, just pineness almost immediately. You're not even getting that fruit, really. That was just an instant, you know, just wash of pine.
Yeah.
Right at the beginning, and it's still lingering now, but... getting a little bit of hoppiness. Like an absolute, like just...
Good.
Nice.
Yeah. You can just immediately taste that pininess, and that's... It's not overbearing, though, at the same time. It seems like the most dominant flavour, and that should, you know, detract from everything else, but somehow it works, but... I don't know, this is good beer.
Nice. Good. And Adel, how's yours?
It is super interesting.
Very, very red.
Yeah. It is like reddy orange, but almost purple. Maybe that's what the
almost sort of beetroot kind of color. Yeah.
And it I think the finish is where the carrots are. So it's sort of a bit of like a earthy, vegetable-y finish. It also finishes kind of sweet, touch dry, but the mouthfeel is like it's like a drying bitter, but I think the carrots are helping keeping it super fresh tasting. So it doesn't sort of dry your mouth out in bitterness or in texture. But the thing that is sort of, what am I trying to say? The thing that they just didn't say is those charred lemons. This is a smoky beer.
Yeah.
Ooh.
This is really good. It tastes smoky, and then it ends with this sort of vegetable-y sweetness from the carrots, presumably. But
Nice.
like, it's not like in your face. It's not like Lafroig or anything. But like, it's a really light, smoky saison that then ends with a bit of a sweetness and does it really well. And it looks not like beer. It was completely shocking. I'm sure if you look at the footage on the YouTube, you'll see my first sip while you were talking, Ben, because I was just like, what did I just did not
Flat across
expect.
the face. Yeah, I like it when beers do that, when they have like a underlying hint of smokiness, and sometimes in styles where you just wouldn't even like consider it, and it's like, oh,
Yeah, and like,
it works really well. Yeah.
and now that I'm more used to it, it's sort of less in your face, and it blends really well, and it actually, I notice it more in the finish that it definitely does linger along with that sweetness. Now that my palate's sort of adapted, this is like really excellent. It's like bringing in the smokiness, but you can adapt pretty quickly to it. So it's not, like I said, like a Isla whiskey where it's like the point is you always get smacked in the face by smoke. This is like you get smacked in the face the first time, and then you get used to it, and then it's a smoky beer that tastes really good, and that you can taste through that the other things that are going on.
Nice. It's good that it's not overpowering and overbearing.
So this will be similar to last week, where I'm not feeling forced to drink it, but I might. Although now that I've gotten used to it, the fact that the smoke lingers might mean I will take my time a little more. Yeah, I wasn't sure what to expect with a carrot-based 3.5% beer. But this is doing it. Like, this is
Nice.
Really happy with this beer.
Good. Duration are very good. Their beers are always good. Did you pick that up from the bottle shop?
I did. Yeah, I think it's an older tin. Because I know this. I don't think they didn't. Yeah, I think it was tinned in July 2019.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Still good though.
If I read the date right. But yeah, it still tastes good. It was one of those things where, like, I don't remember reading anything about this beer. Did a quick Google search in the bottle shop. I'm like, pretty sure this is old as shit, but fuck it.
Yeah.
We're in the dark times, so let's see what I can get.
The last bottle shop trip ever.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe not ever. Eh? So we started kicking in with your gaming evenings, Adel, that you've been having. A little bit of Jackbox.
Yeah, so Sunday night, what was it? It was me, you, Ben, and Alex Malpass, former Tanked Up founder. I guess he's still a founder, former Tanked Up host, and your two partners. We just used our Discord server to stream, and our streaming. Actually, I didn't. I figured out we could just use the streaming channel the next day. But I just streamed my laptop so that basically anyone can play a Jackbox game, so long as in each household that it's being played, they have a stream of the main screen, and then everyone has their phone like normal. And it worked pretty seamlessly, except for lack of cameras on Ben's part, because he doesn't know how technology works.
Oh no.
Yeah, that was very odd. Kim's laptop just didn't want to play ball. I updated the drivers on the camera. Discord just wouldn't pick it up. Just wouldn't kick in. So who knows? I'll have to find a cheap webcam that I can just have by Kim's laptop for things like this, I suppose.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, anyway, so yeah, Jackbox is, I mean, if you've never played them, each party pack has like 5 or 6 games. You can easily, in a night, probably for some of them, just play them all. Like, you could have a night of like Quiplash or Drawful. Like, you don't actually have to go through the whole party pack each night, which I realized the next night where basically we did our philosophy postgraduate work in progress seminar online for the first time, and that went reasonably well using a software called Blue Jeans instead of Zoom like everyone's using. And then we just chatted shit for like an hour afterwards. I'm like, hey, join our Discord if you guys want to like do shit. Maybe we can play some games later. And then we spent like 4 or 5 of us played some more Jackbox games on the Discord. It worked pretty flawlessly. And then Elle invited a friend of hers because she's a gamer, so she's like, oh, hop on this Discord. And then he joined for some of the games too.
Nice.
Yeah. It's like, oh, right, the internet. Super great.
Yeah. I was like, I was reading them because I saw like 1,000 messages from like new people. And I was like, oh, you lot are playing Quiplash. And then I think I like read the messages at like 10. And because I was scrolling up so far, because there'd been so much, I thought you lot had already done it. And then I was like, this morning I was like, oh no, there's a timestamp leaf, so you absolutely could have jumped on.
That's really funny.
Yeah. I was like, oh no, I missed it, because I love Quiplash, it's so good.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I hadn't played, I think we played box 3 on Sunday. I just used the same box. I was like, oh, these people haven't played this one. I'm going to be smart and like, most of these people have never played a Jackbox game. I've played these games before a day ago, but I'm fine with just using that one again so that like people won't get bored over time.
Yeah.
Which pack
absolutely.
was it? Sorry.
We played Jackbox Party Pack 3.
3. Yeah.
So that's the one with the T-shirts.
Yeah, I think
the T-shirt's the best one on that one, and then it has Quiplash XL or like one of the Quiplashes. The weird monster trivia murder mystery thing. That was pretty good.
I'm not a fan of that one.
I like that it's one, the audience can, like, if you actually have an audience, their votes can actually screw people over in the contest of losers. But I like that the contest of losers, like, so if you get a question wrong right away and you die, you still have a chance to win. So it makes sure that it's like competitive, and like you need to get things right, but also if you get them wrong, you don't feel like you're just
you're disengaged and you can just disappear. Like it's good that keeping you there till the end of each game.
Yeah, even though like the odds are kind of stacked against you, there is that chance. And like Sam beat you in the end on one of those games.
Yeah, coming back from the dead.
Yeah.
Which one is the one where you have to make up the lie and there's like several truths?
Oh, Fibbage?
Yeah.
Yeah, Fibbage is in 4 and 2, I think.
Okay.
Something like that. Yeah. That one I works better when you know the group.
Yeah.
Kind of.
It
changes the dynamic of like spotting the lies, because it's like you've got to like tell two truths and a lie about yourself, or like you've got to say a fib, and people have to figure out if you're fibbing or not. Which two is it? Like 2 things, not 3? It's
sorry, I'm thinking of the one where it's like just facts. Like it's not to do with like personal facts. It's how tall is the Empire State Building? And someone puts like 10 million miles tall. You have to make it so it's like kind of believable, but
right.
There's room for like, I'm going to make this silly enough, because the game does have like silly questions, and it is like ridiculous answers that you wouldn't think, and that's part of the fun, like making something that's kind of ridiculous but also kind of
could
believable.
Be true. Yeah, I think
so. It might be Fibbage, or just with.
Yeah, I think it's Fibbage, because I think the one I'm thinking of is in 4 or 5. That's like Fibbage about you.
Yeah,
and I think that's the spin-off one.
Yeah, but same concept.
Yeah. The only one that we couldn't figure out was I can't remember what it's called. It was a game. Oh, Faking It. It was kind of like that, but you had to. The whole point is you like point at someone, or like everyone gets a prompt and you have to like do it at the same time, and then you point at some person you think is the person who didn't get the prompt. And obviously that doesn't work when you can't see everyone or have to point at everyone. But like there's so few games in the Jackbox canon that are like that. Like I think the newest version of that is the Alien Espionage one, but it's much more talking based. I think they've realized that like remote play might be a thing. So it's spot the alien, but so like everyone gets a prompt, and like it'll be like reptile. It'll be like snakes for everyone, but the alien gets like reptile, and they have to like do a thing or say a thing that should be of that category, but they're like one level of abstraction away. So it's they've got to try and bluff the way around why they said the one word they did or whatever, despite not knowing what the exact word is. And that's again very like input oriented, which means if you're not in the room, it's fine. Yeah, it's obviously better when you can like look at someone in the eye and be like, "Why are you turning beet red, Ben? You fucking liar!"
Yeah,
yeah, right. But like, you can still functionally play the game.
Interrogate people.
Yeah, you can. I can
waterboard them.
Well, I can see, like, again with games like board games like Secret Hitler and Werewolf and stuff like that, how you absolutely want to be within the same room as everybody else to kind of see how they act and pick up on those little cues which you aren't quite gonna get across a webcam. But I suppose that, you know, games like this are, I would imagine, being developed as well. You know, more remote kind of play, more party kind of play across webcams. We'll probably see a little bit more of that in the future.
I mean, I think in the next coming months there'll be a whole bunch more.
Yeah. So who knows whether it's a new Jackbox game or other people kind of jumping on the bandwagon.
Yeah. So that's the thing I wanted to bring up was Elle introduced us to one of her favorite net games, which is called Scriblio, Scribble.io.
Yeah.
And Scriblio is, I'm sure it's like Pictionary, essentially. One, it's a browser-based game. So, like, we started a private room. There's also, like, just join a random room, but, like, you start a private room and then give the link, and then all your party members can go. And it scales to a whole bunch of people. But the idea is, at any one point, someone's the active drawer, and you get a choice of 3 clues that you can draw. Like I had Lion, Stegosaurus, and Genie or something. I can't remember where the third one was, but it was Lion, Stegosaurus, and something. And it shows how many letters the prompt is at the top above the drawing, and then you draw it. And the point is, people need to figure out what it is by typing in the chat a guess. And if it's the letter perfect, so obviously, but if it's the right thing, like you type Stegosaurus correctly, it'll say username, guess the word, and you'll get points for being the first one or how much time it took you. And if you've got it wrong, it just fills in the chat. So you can just chat shit as well as put guesses in, but then you can see what everyone else's guess is.
Yeah.
And so on certain things where like the picture is like building, like as in like it's building up, you can sort of be like, someone guessed this, then they got it immediately. Now I'm looking at it, oh, it must be this. And sometimes it's just like, because most of us can't draw well with a mouse, right? So it's, a lot of the times it's like, oh. But like so I picked line, and then I'm so bad with a mouse that it was like, it had a bit of an angle in the middle. I'm like, and I was like, where's the eraser? But like people got it right away because I'm just like, that's it. And I think it was good to be on the Discord with each other and talking.
Yeah.
And like chatting shit at people. I'm like, come on, you should be able to get this. And then I got Switch, the word Switch. So of course I made a black box and then a red box and a blue box on the sides of it. And immediately Natalie, who owns the Switch and has been playing Animal Crossing day in, day out, was like, got it. And people were like, what just happened? And then when I made the little like plus sign and the minus sign and the sticks and started filling in the buttons, it was like, Elle got it. And then McNabb just couldn't quite get it. But it was like, sometimes it can be, even though you're crap at drawing, it can be like pretty easy to do. So yeah, that was real fun. I want to do that again.
Online Pictionary.
And yeah, also because like you could just sort of do it, but like having the voice channel, like that's something you could like put Discord on your phone for the voice and then just grab a laptop or whatever or your tablet and draw. So yeah, those were the communal games. I think that's probably I think that's my role in my various social groups coming forward. I think I'm going to find ways we can play games together.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's great. It's great to kind of, as everyone's sort of inside, not able to sort of socialise at the moment, it's a really good way just for people to have an hour talking to somebody else as well. You know, whether
and it's not a loved one being like,
exactly
"Have you been coughing?" coughing.
Surrounded by the same.
Sorry,
yeah.
there was cat hair in my throat.
Surrounded by the same three people, kind of day in day out. It's good to have someone else to talk to, even if that is just inane bullshit over a game.
Yeah.
And I think it's easier to like get people to play a game sometimes than be like, "Can we all just get into a group chat and chat?"
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're people like us. It's like, well, sure. We do that all of the time. Once a week at a minimum.
It's forced me to actually plug in a webcam, i.e. this Connect, and learn OBS. So
just
just in case someone needs some kind of contact somewhere in the world.
When are we seeing your beautiful face, Lucy, playing some games?
Yeah, I'll give you the.
You know what? I'd play
credentials for
something.
Out of Line.
I'd play something like Jackbox, like any other game. I'd be like, I don't want to talk to.
Well, I was
people and
thinking
play a game.
if everyone was okay, I think I might start on the Out of Lives just streaming our Jackbox games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I wonder whether there's an ethical question about permissions.
I said if everyone agrees.
Okay, yeah.
I agree because I have no stake in this.
Well, I think it's one of those where, like, Kim and I were talking, and I said, "Look, we could do this like every Sunday. It doesn't necessarily have to be the same kind of thing every Sunday, but it'd be good just to get together with friends and to do something." Kim and I have been playing a few different like card games over the last few evenings, things like Monopoly Deal. And those
are you
sorts of
fishing? What are you doing, Lucy?
Oh, the wire. The headphones were.
It's just, it's just you were looking so intently off into the distance, and this wire was just like shaking back and forth. It was amazing. Sorry,
Right,
podcast listeners who aren't YouTube listeners. Sorry, you were saying,
I like that. So it's definitely something that's I think at the moment definitely something that's needed. Just to bring people together and to keep a little bit of sanity for everybody.
My life literally hasn't changed since like seeing people like playing their card games in their bunker. It's quite amusing to me.
That's it, mate. Just
I
smashing
like
back wine, playing card
games.
games.
This is a chance for me to get my flatmates to actually play some of my random games.
This is time for me to whittle down that backlog, but it's not working because everyone's giving out games for free. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Fucking cunts.
I know.
How dare they? So that seems like a good place to jump into. Just to highlight a few cool things and good things that have been happening over the last week.
My segue to this was going to be that if you like games like Drawful 2 is free on Steam because they've just decided to give it away for forever. It's not a time thing like for the month like some of these giveaways are. They're just like if you add it to your library, it's fucking yours. Price is zero, which is really good because like then you don't need someone to buy a whole party pack. Then like if you guys just want to play essentially Internet Pictionary, someone needs Steam.
Yeah, and then I think they sell like Quick Flash separately and stuff like that for real cheap, like £3 or something. So
versus it's like 75 quid for the full quintuple or sextuple party pack right now. I was like, God, yeah.
I think it's free on Game Pass as well. I think 3 years, or maybe it's less at this point.
The Quint pack, which is 1 through 5, is 24% off as a bundle, but still 75 quid. I was like. I definitely did not pay that much for all 6.
Surely they must have given away on Plus or.
Oh, I got a humble bundle of like 4 of them at one point, and then like a sales of the random ones. I think the most I paid was for 6 because I just knew it would be come in handy before it went on sale. Because it's one of the few times I know that if someone's got Steam and I'm at a party, I can be like, why don't we just play a Jackbox game? I'll just log in and download it, which is what I did at the party before Christmas.
That's a good prep in mind for these times.
Yeah, I'm glad I bought a Ring Fit. So glad.
I tried to. Man, that thing's not available.
No,
Turns out everyone
that's
had that
for sure.
idea much quicker than I.
Yeah, I got mine January. It was just after Christmas.
I mean, I was talking to you about this. It's because of you that I was like, shit, I might actually buy that. That just sounds
It's
like
good.
worth my time. And then I just sort of sat on it, and then the only reason I remembered it was someone was complaining about exercise. So I was like, oh yeah, I should buy one of those. And it's like, well, obviously everyone else has thought about this way sooner than me.
Yeah, they are sold out everywhere. But yeah, it's just I do it. Well, try to do it every morning.
Nice.
First thing, but it's for anyone who tries to exercise, it's like and doesn't have the discipline for it, especially working like different muscle groups. Like, because usually once you go to the gym or do your own exercise, you're really just getting in a groove and working the same things over and over again.
It's very easy to do that.
Yeah. This it isn't discipline in making you doing all the different things. It's I want to do that. That is actually fun, you know. So it just completely changes the dynamic of, exercise really. So yeah, it's really good.
Good.
I
Nice.
recommend that to anybody. Yeah, really good.
If you can't get Ring Fit, Kim and I have been doing lots of YouTube sort of workouts and things like that. And we were doing this before. If it was an evening, we'd do like a little yoga session or a Pilates session or something like that for an evening, and then on a different evening we'd do like a HIIT video or something like a little 20-minute kind of circuit workout. And obviously a lot of those are still free on YouTube. And it's definitely good to encourage everyone to still get in some exercise whilst you have to be at home, and it's super easy to kind of to do that. But yeah, Ring Fit does seem like a really like fun way to be able to do
because
that.
it's like, I could put Joe Wicks on again, or I could easily turn him off when I'm tired. Whereas like Ring Fit is like,
Yeah, mate, now we're going to do this, and it's a little bit like,
I am unfamiliar with this reference. I might be okay being unfamiliar with this.
Yeah, this is like I just unlocked the ability to canoe, row.
Ooh.
I think it's canoe, yeah, or paddleboard.
like
It's more
kind of-
paddleboarding.
Are you sitting?
You're standing. And
Oh,
then you
yeah,
have
yeah,
to sometimes
that's
crouch and squat. Going on.
Oh, wow.
But it's like, but it's like, I want to see what this ability is about, and it's just weirdly fun. It's like, if you like, remember when you had like exercise bikes and they'd put it on like a virtual screen of like this little person
Yeah.
actually doing it. It's like that, but
More immersive?
a billion times. Yeah, gets more immersive. Yeah, my avatar has abs, so it's not really that.
Absatar. The last ring bender?
Oh. Huh?
Absatar, the last ring bender? Is that a thing? Not a thing.
No one should bend rings. Except Sonic.
Moving Sonic, yeah, mate. Moving on. So again, another reason why I wanted to drink the Brewgooder beer today was also because they have announced that they are bringing in this new sort of an initiative, or this new thing that they want to do called One on Us. So for the foreseeable future, I'm reading direct now from their Instagram post. For the foreseeable future, we will be donating a proportion of our beer at cost price, and have created a platform that allows anyone to gift a 4-pack and message of support to an NHS employee who can claim it when they are ready to do so. It's not much, but with beer nationally recognised as a currency of gratitude, it's a small gesture to show our appreciation to a tireless NHS worker that you don't know and may never meet. A way of saying, here's one on us. They've also donated the first 50 packs that all include a message of support from members of the team, so you can tag them and let them know. They may all be gone by now because this was yesterday, I think, that went out. But essentially, you can go on Brewgooder's website and buy a 4-pack to donate to an NHS worker.
That's really cool.
If anyone deserves it, it's certainly them.
Absolutely, yeah. At the moment, I think they need as much beer as they can get. Really?
Whenever, like all throughout the year, but yeah.
Yeah.
Now.
I thought you were gonna
Yeah.
say whenever, all throughout the day. I'm like, Lucy.
Yeah, just about to do brain surgery. You know, scalpel in one hand, beer in the other. Yeah, why not?
I mean, if they can fit one in between their, multiple 17, 18-hour shifts that they, I imagine that a lot of them are doing. Maybe not 18-hour shifts, but, long days for a lot of these people at the moment. So it's really good to be able to kind of give something back to them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, really
Yeah.
good initiative.
No, I didn't know that.
from
That's really
Brugger.
cool. I must have missed their Instagram.
Yeah, it was only yesterday, I think, that they put it up. So,
Should be following them.
oh, here we go.
And-
Oh, there's
Cool.
so if you scroll to the top of their Instagram, so far in 24 hours they've had 234 cases donated.
Good stuff.
That's really good.
Mm.
That's not just really good. That's brew good.
Yay! Very good. Brewgooder, in fact. And Lucy, you also posted earlier.
I
Yes.
choked on my own laugh spittle.
I'm glad you did. Lucy, you posted earlier as well about Plague Inc.
Yes.
Yeah.
They have given away. Was it $1 million? Was it dollars? Was it $1 million?
I think it's dollars. Yeah.
Yeah.
It ain't. I don't think it's quite $1 million.
Right. Where's that article? Let me get it.
It's here. Here we go.
Okay.
On behalf of all players of Plague Inc., we've made a 255,000. Where did that other five come from? $250,000 donation, split between the Coalition of Epidemic Preparedness Innovations and the World Health Organization's COVID-19 Solidarity Response Fund.
Yeah, good stuff. Because they, as we spoke about last week, their sales spiked in China
Yeah.
when all this was going on. So, yeah, didn't have to. It's great that they are.
Very much
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
And they also are like making a new game as well, or
Oh.
some kind of update to Plague Inc. So at the bottom of their post, they also say, when arranging our donations with the WHO and CEPI, we were repeatedly asked if we could make a game which let the player work to stop an outbreak. Therefore, as well as providing financial support, we are accelerating work on a new Plague Inc. game mode, which lets players save the world from a deadly disease outbreak. Players will have to balance managing disease progression and boosting healthcare systems, as well as controlling real-world actions, such as triaging, quarantining, social distancing, and closing of public spaces. We are developing this game mode with the help of experts from the World Health Organization, the Global Outbreak Alert and Response Network, and more. So,
Raise
again,
awareness where you can.
yeah, absolutely. And I think as we were kind of saying from last week, maybe don't take your advice from a game, but support stuff like this, like where you can.
Yep. Agreed. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can't remember what they're called. Endemic.
Creations.
Yeah, Endemic Creations. Yeah.
Yeah. I showed
Good.
out the death and taxes thing. It's not related to the virus, but I thought it was cool.
Mm.
Death and Taxes, the game I spoke about, it was last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're making the code open source, which is cool because
Oh, cool.
the game only came out a month ago or something like that. They said they had positive sales, like sold 26,000 copies so far, which is good for any like small indie team. And
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, the coder was like, you know what, I want to make this open source. Like none of the voice acting and final assets will be in the source code, but it's like, yeah, go have fun, go make stuff with it.
Nice.
Cool. Yeah, don't see that anymore.
No, not at all.
Not for a
Again,
retail game, certainly.
something really good to just alleviate boredom for some people to just go in and tinker and play and make some cool stuff with. So yeah.
And the coder's name is Oak, which is a cool name, because I just think of Professor Oak.
Do you think he is a professor?
Probably. Anyone who can code is a professor in my eyes.
Given my current lack of a job and trouble hunting for essentially that market. I'm gonna have to disagree. I wish it were that easy.
Yeah, because I can code a little. I'm a professor. No, nowhere near.
So,
God.
weird. I mean, just because it came up, life update, and so I had my PhD. I defended it. I had corrections. I wrote them. They got correct. They got accepted a couple weeks ago. Today is the day that the board is supposed to process the paperwork, and I remember thinking when I got that email, I didn't realize how anxious I was because I had so many like ups and downs in this PhD. I was like, oh shit, it's done. People just have to like process a piece of paper. It's great. No, there's no other shoe to drop. And then fucking Corona. It's like, oh, there's a shoe. Fuck you. There's always a shoe.
There's a big fucking boot, mate.
Yeah,
it's not just a shoe.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I just thought that was an amusing anecdote of me letting my guard down and then being like, obviously, I'm not saying this is the biggest deal given the way the world is, but it was just like, oh yeah, there's this like really menial thing like this. Why do you have maracas?
Because you got your PhD.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, man, I need an instrument now.
To actually do what they were scheduled to do today. Yeah,
it's a little part.
Hey. I'm supposed to graduate, like walk across the stage, get the certificate or whatever you call it.
When was that meant to be?
In July. Okay. So that's probably not going to happen.
I saw that like these Japanese students like recreated like their graduation in Minecraft.
Yeah, I saw that too. But weren't they like second graders finishing second grade?
Yeah, it was not important at all.
It was great. I mean, I'm fine with that. I just want someone to say it's fucking over. That's what I want.
You will get there.
But you've got that. You do have that. With your corrections being what's the word? Like agreed and approved. Yeah, you've got that, man. Yeah.
So it's in the bag, so practice.
Hooray!
These used to light up, but I think the battery's gone.
Oh, that's
right.
Anyway,
should we open some more beers?
Yeah, please. Somehow. So this is what I was saying.
They
like,
do
the
light
taste
up.
lingers, but I still haven't quite finished this one. Oh, it's just too bright in there?
No, I think you just have to hit them enough force.
So you can only use one at a time.
Make a real racket. Yeah, anyway.
Right. I have opened, I haven't poured it yet, little bottle. I have got Yub Nub.
What is it?
Which is
from the moon of Endor?
Mate, it's a collaboration between Vibrant Forest and Emperors.
Oh, wow.
Obviously, every beer that Emperors puts out is Star Wars.
Yeah, okay, so it actually is from the moon of Endor.
Yes.
Oh my god, is that an Ewok on there? Is that a picture of an Ewok?
No, there's no Ewoks. There's no Ewoks. There's lots of fires in a forest.
Is that the Emperor in a circle? What is that? Yeah,
that's Emperor's Brewing.
Oh, I thought it was an Ewok.
You mean Ray's grandfather?
No, which clone? The third, the fourth? Who knows? Who knows what clone it's meant to be? So this is a black barley wine.
Complicated, didn't it?
It did get complicated. We teamed up with Emperor's Brewery for this big barley wine, and of course, in true Emperor's style, this was always going to be something dark and a bit special. Up front, there are big, thick, chewy dark malts, which give a warming which give a warming, full-bodied chocolate character, and these are joined in the background by a little zingy ginger. The finish is celebrated with a moderate bitterness, some warming alcohol, and a little chocolate goodness from the addition of cacao nibs. It's 12.7%.
Damn. I thought I was going to get the heavy hitter.
Yeah, Ben. Well, might have to end this early after you finish that. God knows what's going to be said.
It is only in a little 330ml bottle, so it's not a ginormous can. Woo! The nose instantly. Lucy, what have you got next?
I've got another beer from Gipsy Hill, and this is called Gruff, and it is a collaboration. Mahr's Bräu.
Hang on.
Oh,
You disappeared. You disappeared. I didn't hear any of that.
oh, didn't disappear on
Did you
me.
hear that? It's from Gipsy Hill.
Yes. And a collaboration with?
Mahr's Bräu. I'm probably butchering that. Yeah, I'll just read what it says. Gruff is a collaboration with Mahr's Bräu. It's a red Maybach that we've lagered for 100 days. We picked specific malts from Bamberg, isn't it? And used Mahr's Bräu's house yeast to deliver a full-bodied, complex, malty lager that's full of depth and character. This is part of the illustrator's takeover, and the illustrator art is from Jade Perkin. It is.
Okay.
Huh,
Nice.
little guy. Sort of looks like Oddlaw from Where's Wally. And he's holding the name of the beer called Gruff. Billy Goat there, so I'm guessing those are related. But yeah, it's 6.8%.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Don't really
And
see
Adam?
many Maybachs.
No, that's very true.
And I've got the Imperial Wedding Cake Break from Evil Twin Brewing,
Ooh.
which it was produced and canned for Evil Twin Brewing by Westbrook Brewing in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. Yeah, it is an 11.5%
Ooh.
Imperial stout porter with coffee, vanilla, almonds, and wedding cake added.
Oh.
So it's an imperial porter with stuff, including actual cake thrown in the grist.
Okay.
I was like, well, if I'm buying a 3.5%, might as well buy whatever nonsense this is.
Yeah, balance it out, you know? Now you've got like, what? About 7% each way or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy.
15% overall, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
8%, 2 double IPAs, mix it in.
Nice.
Yeah, nice.
Good. So, Yub Nub.
I think
Sorry.
it's yep. No.
Yub Nub. Yub Nub. Ooh. It's got a lovely sweet nose. Almost maybe... I don't know, it kind of comes across a little bit licorice on the nose as well. I can't remember exactly what this said. I don't think it said anything about the nose. It was more about the flavour in the flavour text. But Ooh,
Oh, wow.
you
Wow,
do.
that is dark, and there's
It
like
is very
little
dark.
bubbles.
No head.
And then no, absolutely, it's flat. It's so flat. Even in the flavour, it's or in the mouthfeel, it's completely flat. I think it says about sort of those chewy malts coming through, and that is absolutely kicking through as a licorice flavour. And it is chewy. It absolutely, the way it sort of like sits, and the residue that kind of is still there. You can feel it, and you know, like you want to just be like, I'm a little bit on this. The ginger you do get, just giving it a little bit of a lift, a little bit of a kick to it. But it's not overpowering. So the licorice kind of comes in quite quickly, and the ginger pulls in through that, and both flavours kind of sit very nicely sort of side by side. It is warming. You definitely know that it's a big alcohol beer as well. Has that little hint of sweetness to it, and that flavour lingers. Oh, and it's still, even now, I can feel it. It's viscous. It's kind of coating my mouth, coating my throat as well. Like it's not thick, but it's almost a little syrupy. Not quite that, but I don't know whether it's just because I've been drinking a lot of Jaeger as well over the last week. But it's got that similar kind of feel to it. Slightly spiced, a little kick to it, a little bit of licorice in there. Yeah. I mean, even at 12.7%, and with that depth of flavour that it's got, I'm reaching for it. Even with that long finish, it's just very easy to sip.
Right.
Oh dear. I'm going to have to slow down, aren't I? Lucy,
Oh dear.
how's your beer?
You just remind me of that. Oh, when is it in between us when he says, "Oh dear"? Oh, it's when Simon's like throwing up. He like threw up on my little brother. Oh dear. In between us is great. Mine. It's not very red. Red Maybach isn't very red. I was hoping it'd come out like a Deals beer. Just like, maybe it's the lighting, but when I hold it up to the light, it's got a really coppery.
I was gonna say it looks kind of coppery orange. I didn't know if that was your sort of brightish display versus the real world.
Real world.
It looks very clear as well.
Yeah, it's completely transparent. So, ooh. Got a bit of a coppery smell to it, like kind of metallic. Bit of like spicy berries as well. That's what it tastes like.
Interesting.
Which spicy berries?
You know,
all of them.
Yeah,
The spicy ones.
one that you find in like Christmas pudding. But it's got like it's got like a fruity berry taste to it. It's definitely got those lager sensibilities. It's very clean. It's quite soft as well. I mean, there's hardly any carbonation at this point. I poured it a little while ago, but yeah, barely any head. It's like a third of a finger, like white head to it, and
Right.
very, very soft. Hardly carbonated. I've had some like nice lagers recently, and this is up there.
Yeah.
I had a beer earlier today from, was it Boundary? I used to have a cat. It's like a Helles lager. That was spot on. That was really nice. But
Nice.
but yeah, this has got like that like kind of berry, like fruity flavor at the start. And then it gives away to like some like bubblegum, estery like notes. So it's bringing those lager qualities into it a bit later. But yeah, it's really soft and easy drinking. Good.
Excellent.
I really like this.
Good.
Sounds great.
It's not gonna last. You can't tell it's 6.8% at all. It's like a 4% beer. It's like not watery, but it's like thin and it's not heavy at all. It's like really light bodied, so it's just really easy to drink. So you can't tell it's 6.8. That's
Nice. I had a beer from North a couple of days ago, which was like a double dry hopped IPA, about 7-ish%, I think. And that was, again, just so easy and sort of session. We could not tell the alcohol on that at all. And it's crazy that we're getting a lot of these higher beers that just mask that percentage so well that you could just keep going with them.
Was that like a dark reddish can?
Yes.
Reddish bluish can?
Yes,
I
I think it was like a red and black sort of stripy,
yeah, I think
splattered sort of
I
can.
think it's 7.7. Pretty sure I just put that in the fridge.
Ooh, nice. It's good. It's very nice. Adel, how was your beer?
It's dark as fuck. And like look how that head, the head was about a finger and a half, but it lingers like it's a syrupy sort of viscosity.
Nice.
It is an 11% imperial porter. And it ends with that sickly sweet alcohol taste. It's surprisingly well balanced for all the things that are going on. So it starts with like porter, coffee. This is what it's doing. Imperial porter, it's got those coffee notes, and then when those fade, you get the vanilla and almond, which sort of tastes like, wait, did someone put amaretto in this? because it's so strong that you get that
wow.
alcohol and almond and a touch of vanilla that just makes you think amaretto.
Nice.
Wow.
And then then you get the kind of tastes like fruitcake moment.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
when you were talking about wedding cake, I
I don't know
immediately
what
went
they
to
mean by wedding
Jamaican
cake, but
fruit
like,
cake.
yeah, but there is a bit of a fruitiness, and with the coffee and the amaretto type taste,
Yeah.
and then cake and that thickness, it's just like, oh
First
yeah,
time in
that
it.
tastes kind of like cake. That's weird, and that doesn't last too long, and then it finishes, like I said, kind of the nice version of sickly sweet, that alcohol sweetness, a bit of that vanilla almond lasting touch of the cakeness. But actually, what I like about this is the cake, especially once I've acclimatized. Like the cake is like 1 point in the taste curve, which not my favorite part of the taste curve. It works, it all blends well, but it doesn't overstay its welcome. So like it's really porter coffee forward, and then has this, like I said, this amaretto moment, then a cake moment, and it kind of ends with a blend of them all. But it's actually quite light, except for the fact that you can tell you're drinking a strong beer.
Nice.
So even if you weren't a huge fan of like the cakiness, there's a bunch of other things going on, and it's not the majority taste, despite being called the Imperial Wedding Cake Break.
Yeah, that makes me remember like the Siren. I think they did like a Jamaican rum cake beer.
Yes.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, it's a boozy beer. I think especially with the vanilla and the almond in there, make me think of like amaretto and almond liqueur and stuff. So it's like,
I've had amaretto ages. Actually,
yeah,
it's very sweet. But
yeah, I know. I've got a friend who just drinks it like that.
Just
That's
straight.
her drink. Just like for going out boozing, it's like or like going back to someone's house. People buy tins. She's like, "Why don't we just get a bottle of amaretto splits?" Because I don't want to really have the Coke. She's like, "What do you mean Coke?" I'm like, oh,
yeah, I'd rather just drink it straight than with Coke. Yeah, I remember a few years, like it's probably getting about 10 years back now, where amaretto was definitely the drink of choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Now I'm fancy and I drink gin. Fancy.
I do like.
All spirits are disgusting.
I was going to say I do like how our spirits between the three of us are very different. What we enjoy. Like Adel, you're a whiskey man.
yes, I am.
There it is.
Ewan found this on offer.
You
Only
like
26
Jaeger,
quid.
Ben.
Nice. Huh?
You
Jaeger.
like Jaeger, Ben. Like
I'm a Jaeger or a rum man. I'm a spiced rum man at heart.
rum.
Yeah, I prefer dark rum. Dark rum is my favorite type of rum. Then spiced, then white.
Spice rum. Yeah.
That's fair. And Lucy, you
I don't really
buy us
drink
shots of vodka at
spirits,
the end
but,
of nights. So
I mean, that was just. I have no idea why I did that.
Well, so last time I was out on the town, like a couple of days before the corona the pubs were closed. 2 days actually. Friend bought Isaac bought us tequila shots, and I was like,
Oh no. I can't drink tequila because it ends like really badly.
I just
Oh, you know, I don't like it. Or no, there'll probably be an ambulance involved. if I drink tequila. I've drank it like 3 times in my life.
because it makes you angry, or
No, bad things just seem to happen. I'm not gonna go.
Did we have tequila
Get into it
that
on-
first
on
time I
camera,
met you
but-
in Birmingham?
No, because I avoid it like the plague. I don't drink it.
Oh, so you stay with it beyond 2 meters of all people?
Yes, I got
When
my
tequila's
plague
around?
doctor beacon. Yeah, I know to just decline and just say no.
that's fair.
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh, I've just realised Adel's taking a photo of his beer, and I haven't taken one of this. I've drank almost half of it already.
That's fine. I
Slightly.
kind of like the half drunk pictures.
It's disappearing so
Otherwise,
quickly.
people will just think that we throw them away and we don't actually drink beer.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's-
we're
take
professional
pictures of it.
pourers.
So let's keep talking about some games. I wanted to touch on a couple of smaller experiences that I had because Steam not released, but they'd organised with a lot of developers that were going to be at GDC to put out some demos for their games, which is brilliant. And they were available all last weekend for about a 4-day period, roughly. And I downloaded about 6, but I only got to play 2. The first was Carrion, which I really liked. It looks like and plays like a Metroidvania, but you are this hideous beast like entity,
tentacle monster.
You're kind of you're like just pure flesh and muscle, throwing tentacles out, eating people, moving through the environment, trashing it and stuff. And it has that tone to it that you kind of don't really get in like pixel art kind of games.
You haven't played enough pixel art games.
Well, fair enough. I'm trying to think. Is it called something like what's that one where you're the lad and you're walking through the environment and you can kind of hide behind in little alcoves and people are walking through and stuff, and you've got a torch. It reminded me of that, just with the vignette round the outside, a little dark to the little dark sort of filter to the screen.
I don't know what you were talking about.
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called.
I want to know what you're talking about. I just
in
don't
the
know.
dark. I can't remember which.
Something about the dark, Alone in the Dark.
Might
No, that's a bigger.
Yeah, I was like
game, I think.
that's an actual thing.
Yeah.
What was the name of this I can't remember the name of this game now.
Carrion.
Something
Carrion,
nightmares.
thank
Sorry, I can't.
I don't remember.
So
It came out on like
Nightmares?
PlayStation Plus years and years and years ago. That's where I played it. But yeah, Carrion just kind of lets you be a bit of a beast and destroy lots of people and kind of I was going to say slither, but you're not really slithering. You're kind of swinging
Crawling?
and skipping and crawling your way through the environment, and it
Slithering?
feels good.
Slytherin?
The movement really feels good. You know, the way that actually you've got a lot of vertical movement, because obviously this creature is kind of using its tentacles to be able to move up and stuff like that. And it made me a lot more interested than I was previously, thinking, okay, this looks cool, absolutely, but being able to play it and feel that sense of motion from this kind of creature that you are really sort of sold it to me.
Yeah, I was pretty much already sold on it, but after playing it, I was like, oh no, this is a proper Metroidvania. Like you're earning upgrades and unlocking. You're going back and forth in between rooms. I didn't see an in-game map, but if there is one, then it just ticks every box for me. So it's like, definitely a shoo-in. What else did you play on the Steam games?
The other one I played was called... Oh no, where's my bit of paper gone?
What a strange name for a game.
What was it like?
It's called something like 100 Days, and it is a wine...
the wine-making one.
making simulator. Which, from the text at the start, very much said, this isn't kind of the demo that we wanted to release. We very hastily put this together after GDC was cancelled, where we were going to show it to people and stuff. And it's a management sim where you're growing various grape strains and making wine out of them, and having to either the different processes of making wine and then taking it to market and selling it and things. But the way it does it is on this is on a grid. And you basically fill the grid with different things that you have. So you're presented with this grid and then cards, and you play a card, and that card may be like 3x3 tiles, and that's your vineyard. That's where your grapes are growing. And it takes a couple of days to be able to do that. But the grid is big enough that you can do other processes kind of around the outside and stuff. Yeah. So you might be able to fit in and manage your grid to do lots of different things. So you keep progress kind of going. It was full of kind of issues, because it's at that stage where they weren't really going to release a demo. But again, another little kind of management game that definitely has now gone on my wish list. I remember playing. I cannot remember the name of it. It was a game to do with brewing beer, but it was very like mobile game style.
Oh yeah.
So you had to pick up like tokens, and everything took a certain amount of time. 100 Days doesn't do that. Things do take time, but you're not accelerating them by paying for things. It is just do these things, go to the next day. Do these things, go to the next day. Okay, this is now ready to take to the next process. I can fit that in here. And it seemed like something I would absolutely enjoy. I'm not sure whether the title 100 Days is kind of like a literal meaning, whether I only have a certain amount of time within a winery to do things, or whether that is kind of like a goal for certain stuff. Like, didn't delve into that too much. But yeah, absolutely. Again, it got me interested in something I had never heard of.
Yeah. Yeah, I played... gosh. What were the games that I played? I played Carrion, yes. I played... Sugar. What's the name of that game? See, we're both up in trying to figure out what the hell we played.
I downloaded Roki. Or
yes, I played that.
Rocky.
Roki, yeah. It's like a 3D like movement, but it's even on a 2D plane, like point-and-click adventure game. Played that demo. I played... Oh, Christ. It's like a pixel art and you like platforming and... Jesus Christ, what's its name? If I still had it downloaded, I'd figure it out.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I've got rid of all of them now because you can't play them anymore.
No, I added it to my wish list, but yeah, they're all gone. I'll figure it out. It's amazing how bad my memory is now. Data added, there we go. I played Evan's Remains, that's the one. Which is a kind of, it's 2D pixelated. It's like mostly a platformer, but it's got like a story to it.
Yeah.
But I really like the art style of that. Backworlds, that is a kind of... It's a puzzle platformer, but you play as like a chameleon, and you can blend in. You can change the color palettes of like the background, and then blend in with that, and then that like changes the platforms and stuff like that. That seemed cool. I tried Elder Souls. Souls-like, and it's very slow, so it's boring. And I'll never play it.
Really?
I have no patience for those types of games.
Yeah, that's fair. It looks that's another one that I had downloaded because it looked, at least from the trailer, like the combat was pretty frantic. You know, the character was kind of zooming through the bosses and being able to do moves, and you hit them, and several. It's a numbers game. Yeah. Where lots of numbers are flying out of these characters, but you do several hits and lots of numbers kind of fly out of them. And I thought, oh, this does look a little bit Dark Soulsy, but maybe slightly faster.
Maybe it is
clearly
once
not.
You've upgraded, or if you're just better than me, which is probably the case. But yeah, I didn't manage to play Moncage, which looks cool. That's like a kind of vignettes on iOS kind of game. Yeah, there was a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, there was. Yeah.
Yeah, I played Chicory. What's it? I can't remember the subtitle to that game. Let me just check. But that's
Chicory.
Like a kind of chicory, a colorful
like the vegetable.
Tale. I believe so. It's basically a dog who wields this magical brush, and you're painting in the world, and it's super charming, super cool. Huh?
Akami.
Yes, it's Akami. Geez. If the dog was more humanoid rather than an actual dog.
Okay.
But, yeah, and it's 2D. But yeah, I didn't play that one, even though it was an updated demo, because I played it a few months ago, and I wanted to play things which were, I hadn't experienced before. But that looks really promising. So that's probably the thing that I'm looking forward to most out of those games.
Nice.
Fair.
There was a lot of stuff,
And carry,
there was a lot of stuff within this that it highlighted, but you didn't actually get a demo for. So
yeah, there were a
stuff
few.
like Cloudpunk, which I absolutely wanted to play the demo for. That was like the first thing I looked at, but didn't have a demo.
Game Pass, so
Ooh, hopefully
Game Pass
PC
then.
Game Pass that I should keep
Hopefully,
my
yeah.
subscription for.
it's cheap enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Cloudpunk looks super promising. But I wanted to play Disc Room, that Devolver game that's made by people who made Minute. That looks fun. But it's like, I know what that game is. You can look at it and it's like, yeah, I can see how this probably frustrating.
Yeah,
So it's like, yeah, probably don't need a demo.
yeah, that's fair. Did you get some time with the not part of the Steam GDC demos? Did you get some time with the Resi 3 demo?
I did, and then I played like... I honestly only played like 20 minutes.
Okay.
I get stressed by these games, and what the hell am I putting myself through this stressful when it's a demo? You know? It's like... Resident Evil 2 was my favourite game last year. If Resident Evil 3 reviews well, I'm going to pick it up. So,
Yeah.
That seems fair.
my rewards point is like buy some cookies. But yeah, I'll buy it and play it. But it's like I'm just thinking, I'm not putting myself through this stress if I really don't need to. None of my saves are carrying over. Absolutely not. No, it's just like
That's
yeah.
fair.
But yeah, I played it on PC and it looks, you know, all the settings up to max. It was amazing. But I'm gonna have to buy on Xbox to get rid of this reward points. So, them's the breaks.
So it's those 20 minutes that you played. Were they kind of mid-story? Did it throw you sort of straight into the deep end? Yeah.
I imagine it's mid-story. I don't think it'll start off like that, or maybe it will. I don't know. You're on the train carriage with Barry, remember Carlos. And then they're just like, yeah, go do some stuff. You walk into Raccoon City, which is a lot more open. It's not like the tight, closed corridors of Resident Evil 2, at least at the start. In fact, most of that game. But it's a bit more open, and there's a lot more zombies walking around in, like, clusters. And I didn't actually meet Nemesis, because I'll take this, but yeah, it's definitely got a different feel to it. You still have that kind of survival. Oh crap! I run out of everything. In this game, it might like I just feel harder in this. Bigger spaces thrown at you, so I think you have when like Resident Evil 2, was it once or twice, maybe once, and then it was snap in half, like, because that's what knives do apparently in Raccoon City. But yeah. But this time it's like I think you can reuse it, and you have a dodge mechanic, so you know, you can weave and bob and juke through, you know, zombies. But yeah, I think it's definitely got a different feel to it. But yeah, it seems super promising. Like, if it's any similar to Resident Evil 2, it's going to be a great game.
Nice.
In terms of how confident that vision is, and like we know what we're doing. You know, we fine-tuned this to be like you're always on that brink of like needing more ammo, and you know that asset management, resource management, but it's still doable. You're not going to get frustrated by it. So yeah, it seems promising.
Nice. I find it really interesting that they have remade Resi 2 and Resi 3 Nemesis, but they didn't start with the first game.
Yeah.
Obviously, there is an HD kind of remake, but that
GameCube version is like what, 20 years old now?
I was just saying, it's more. I mean, that's a proper remaster, isn't it? Not a
Yeah, it's a
remake?
remaster, rather than a remake. Yeah, absolutely.
And
Yeah.
it's an old remaster.
That
Yeah.
still plays. You still get those. I mean, tanky controls. It's not great, but it's still fine. Like I think it's because didn't they like lose the source code for like Resident Evil 2 and stuff like that? Like
Is that what happened?
I'm not sure. I don't know if that's correct.
It's like
but,
better just do it again.
yeah, but
I mean,
I
that's
don't-
actually probably correct.
yeah, it was the PlayStation 1 era, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, it makes sense. Like,
Mhm.
I don't see the
What?
point of. Huh?
Sorry,
What?
this might be apocryphal, but
Yes.
according to Reddit, someone, a Kotaku article, someone posted to Reddit. The original Resident Evil was built on the source code of Goof Troop for the Super Nintendo.
I mean, I believe it.
What
Capcom
the
made all
actual
those
fuck?
games. Capcom made all those games. That doesn't surprise me at all. Goofy
But Goof Troop was a 2D game.
looks like a demon creature. When you think about it.
You're walking the corridors, super dark, no music in the background, and suddenly just
Gosh!
just scares the shit out of you. He jumps through the fucking window. Pluto's coming the other end. Who knows what the fuck's going on?
Yeah. Yeah, I can genuinely believe that. I mean, yeah. Yeah. Capcom made all those Disney games back in the day, so.
Yeah, that was their niche for a long time, was
It was. Would you say
wouldn't
niche?
even
'Cause
say
that's
everyone.
literally all they made.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
Mega
that
Man.
was, yeah. Yeeps.
Yeah. But yeah, Resident Evil 3.
Mm.
They need to remake Dino Crisis, otherwise I'm gonna go to their office and be like,
I was thinking
Guys.
that I have
Yeah,
Dino Crisis
Vita, don't you?
on my PSP.
I think it was on Vita in like the Americas as well.
Sorry,
It's
my
not
PS
in the UK.
Vita. Yeah,
Yeah, and
So,
we
like,
had Crash Bandicoot.
it's
games.
somewhere in a box that way. I might just
Stupid
charge
son.
my Vita, and it's like in this. I have such a backlog, and in these trying times, I kind of want. I'm fine with just playing nostalgia boner games.
Mm.
Yeah,
Like simpler times, fuck it. I'll just like grab a thing and play something dumb.
I've been stopping myself from going back to Broken Sword 2.
Mm.
Because that's what I really want to do
Nice.
instead of playing
Yes.
modern
I
games.
almost, part of me was like, what if I just played Final Fantasy VII for the remake? Like, this is
Why
dumb.
not, eh?
You will then hate the remake, which you actually want to buy and play.
Yeah.
At the
But
very
how
least,
will it be
play the
delivered these
remake and then
days?
play the rest of the game, because it's going to be like 3 hours of the game. I'm super paranoid that I'm going to be pissed at that remake because it's going to be too little of the plot.
Don't worry, enough people, the gamers will rise up and be like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, but then they'll just rush
Joking.
out like
Here's the
episodes
other
2 and
chapter for
3,
free.
and then it won't be good. Like the problem, like if they're trying to do it as like an 8-episode thing, I just want them to tell me it's an 8-episode thing.
Yeah.
Wait for those reviews.
Because like,
Well,
It's the easiest way.
I find it really interesting how quickly Capcom pushed out Resident Evil 3.
I think they're
or
two different teams
the remake.
working on it.
Yeah, absolutely, but it was one of those where we kind of knew that the Resi 2 remake was happening, what, like 2 years ago? Well, or
Yeah,
3 years.
yeah,
3
it was
years ago now. 2 years
E3
before it was kind of
20.
released.
18, it was announced.
Was it?
And then,
Oh.
E3 2018.
But there was always
then
those
it came
rumors
out
that it
like
was
9
being developed. There was that
Yeah.
crowdfunding stuff. There was the previous director wearing a T-shirt. You know,
Mm-hmm.
all of these kind of things that you sort of see and think, "Ooh, are they doing this?" But you've got to think that Resi 3 must have again. It wasn't a product of the Resi 2 remake selling really well. It
Capcom
must
has
have been in
done
development before that.
Yeah. Capcom have done this the entire generation.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I think it's only like Resident Evil where it's like, oh no, you actually did this right. You didn't just put out another Mega Man X 12, 16 collection. It's like, just put some original art in it and put it in a nice wrapper. They actually
Like for
remade it, so it's like they've actually done good the latter half of this generation. The first half, it was like, Capcom, just get at it. Just get at it.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, releasing like Monster Hunter World and then like the Iceborne update for it as kind of a game which expanded past like that the Nintendo system that they were on to put it onto kind of everything else. Suddenly, in the second half of this current generation, Capcom went, what the fuck are we doing? We really need to kind of up our game here, and
especially
Street
I think
Fighter
Street Fighter 5 was the low point. Where it was like, God damn, yeah.
Especially with it being, what was it, a PS4 exclusive and PC?
Yes. Because the weird thing is, like, I'm not a massive Street Fighter fan, but I have never thought of Street Fighter 5 until now. Like, on the second thought, after it released,
Yeah.
I never thought, oh, I'm going to pick up that game, because that game is apparently better now, but it wasn't that long ago. It was a gigantic mess. So
They did have a lot of issues with the netcode and things like that. A lot of stuff on the technical side that just didn't work.
2015 or something?
That must have been 2015. Yeah. Right. It must be 5 years old now.
Yeah.
Because then you have stuff like Injustice, Mortal Kombat, Tekken 7, and you just think how much better those games are than Street Fighter. So they must be working on Street Fighter.
Yeah, I'd imagine Street Fighter 6 is probably within 6 months to a year of the new console generation.
I believe that.
Yeah. Maybe Lucy, a Dino Crisis remake.
Oh God, I hope so.
In the first year.
In the Resi engine. Oh,
I'm calling it now. In the Resi engine, in the first year of the consoles coming out, a Dino Crisis remake.
If this doesn't happen, I'm knocking on your door. Very upset.
You said it was gonna happen.
Instead of going to Japan, I'm just gonna come to Bristol.
To be fair, it's a much quicker journey.
Exactly. Bring back Regina. We need her. These trying times.
We do, absolutely. To finish, talking of rumours, there is a little rumour of another Japanese developer who may have relinquished the rights to a few of their IPs, going over to Sony. So Konami possibly releasing a few of their IPs over to Sony, including Silent Hill and others, which again, like Metal Gear, which may then go over to Kojima Productions. And again, more rumours and more kind of things on Twitter and stuff that Sony made a big purchase of a new developer in the last couple of months. So is all of this kind of tying up for a new Metal Gear or a new Silent Hill game or something of that ilk, to obviously then go to Kojima Productions, which become a PlayStation first party studio, essentially? Adel, would you give a shit if any of this was true?
No. I've given up on giving. Konami's done so much back and forth. The rumor mills are like so bad. I guess, and also like Metal Gear had some good moments and some weird moments, and like what was good about 5 wasn't really the Metal Gear-y parts.
Sure.
So like I'm happy if that series just stopped, and I don't care enough about almost any. So one of the reasons why I really like Final Fantasy as a series is that every mainstream entry is a reboot of the like there's like these things like crystals and light warriors and chocobos and summoning, and outside of those, it's a new world with new approaches to all of those. And I think that's why I continue to go back to that series, is because it's like we have certain themes and we have certain like mainstays, and not every entry will have all the mainstays, but they'll have most of them. But like, I don't need another fucking Metal Gear game.
Sure.
Like, maybe that IP has made its point, and that's okay. Like, and same thing with Silent Hill. I'd rather like remember the good. I'd rather, to be honest, I'd rather a real remaster, which like has the like the fact that Silent Hill 1 was as scary as it was because of a technical limitation, and the fog was there to make sure, like, it had to be there because they couldn't render anymore. And when they remastered that, they're like, we can render more, and totally misunderstood that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I would rather like a proper remaster to make it as spoopy as before, but then also, I don't need the Silent Hill lore for a spoopy game made by a good developer.
I think when you play Silent Hill, if you remaster it though, this kind of story loses luster a bit.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I think, but like, the only thing I would like would be, I don't want the series to continue in a new town with a new person, because it ends up
probably be the best way to do it, because if you rehash the first story, it's like, I know how this goes, you know.
I guess I was thinking like for the new generation who's never played.
I guess so, but
so
what
like there's like
IP Silent Hill mean to them? Or
there's 3 generations that I'm thinking of. The first gen, I played Silent Hill on PS1. One? Yeah,
yes.
Right? Yeah. That people, those are the people who are like, Silent Hill is a real franchise. And then there's like the second gen who are like, people kept telling me about this, and then I played the remaster and it was garbage, and they told me it was garbage. And so maybe my opinion's wrong. And then there's all the new kids who are like, I don't know, Silent Hill's a thing, but also Five Nights at Freddy's is my notion of a spoopy game. And it's like, okay, there are ways of doing spoopy games that are way more tense than like what YouTubers like yell at. But the remaster Silent Hill isn't that. The OG is probably much closer. But I'd rather someone just using the tools at hand just make something that is like has inherited those ideas, but isn't like tied to either the plot of the first game, regardless if you've played it, or the idea of what makes a Silent Hill game a Silent Hill game. I just want to make a good, scary game that isn't just pandering to YouTubers. And Konami can do that. They don't need fucking Silent Hill. That's why PT was really exciting, because it wasn't called Silent Hill.
What reminds me of that is like the Evil Within. Because I'm just thinking Pyramid Head and just like a guy with like the box safe head and just like It can be done. Yeah.
It can, and we've seen it from
reimagining
stuff like what their first person instead, but like Amnesia, like The Dark Descent and Outlast. Two sort of new series from kind of newer developers. Obviously, we've had sequels to those games. There's a new Amnesia game coming as well. They have kind of taken that mantle a little bit and moved on with that. And we've seen then Resident Evil kind of aping that with Resi 7 going first person and thinking, well, the genre has shifted very slightly and these new developers are doing really good things. So we are going to come across and do something sort of similar, or at least move into a different perspective. And again, PT was first person as well, even with the kind of the Silent Hill name all sort of kind of tacked on and sort of behind it. It's again, we kind of we see these other games take like the lead in this, and everyone sort of try to follow. So as you say, Adel, we don't kind of need Silent Hill to like make a resurgence and to be a thing again, because we have other stuff, and they could very easily go and make something completely different. And even if Sony have acquired Kojima Productions, and they are working on some kind of horror game, it doesn't need the Silent Hill name behind it.
No, it just needs Kojima and people.
That's what I'm saying. That's precisely what I'm saying. I don't want us to be pandering to the IP. What I want is a good fucking studio to make good fucking games.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and that's
we'll
fair.
see what their sophomore game is like.
Yeah. Supposedly Norman Reedus is,
a bit more time.
is chatting with Kojima about another project. So, I mean, it's Kojima, so who knows when it will be, how long that will take. Although Death Stranding was pumped out
Elon Musk
in a really swift amount of time.
Be in it or something. Elon Musk.
Oh, everyone will be in it. Mads will be in it again. Norman Reedus will be in it.
Probably.
Ooh, Madonna, yeah, sure. Avril Lavigne, whether it's her or her clone from 2015 onwards or whatever that is, like, yeah. There's loads of things they could lean into. Slender Man, he'll be there somewhere.
He was a slender man. He said, "See you later, man."
Oh, that seems like a good place to finish for this week.
We didn't get to talk about Ori.
Oh, fuck!
I can talk about it next week.
Talk about it next week, because I'm still trying to work out a fix, mate. I still want to play that.
I
don't care about your thoughts, Ben. Okay, we can talk about it next week.
I might
We're not going anywhere.
I might
That's
get
true.
Games Pass.
Yeah.
So this lovely box you provided. I think I just need to buy a power supply from Facebook Marketplace, risk some COVID-19, and then plug because it's a good box. It's just like the graphics card isn't great.
Mm-hmm.
I've got graphics cards in a box, 3 meters to my left. But I don't have the power for it, so I should just buy a new power supply, and then I can just get Games Pass, and we can all play the same games.
Yeah.
Sure.
You find one for like 18, 20 quid, something like that.
The thing is, finding one that has the right pinouts and finding a Facebook Marketplace ad that knows that I care about that. Turns out it's more difficult when it's like, it's a 600 watt power supply. I'm like, yeah, I've got a 500 watt power supply that has shitty pinouts. Anyway, yes, but
the crossover, the Venn diagram of those two markets are just not gonna overlap.
That's one of the joys of PC gaming, isn't it?
Yeah,
it sucks. Anyway,
I'm still choked that my 5-year-old box would work fine if the motherboard didn't kill its PCI slot. And I was like, I found a spare motherboard on eBay that, if it worked, would have answered all my problems for 100 quid, and I didn't do that, and now I'm like, But also, I think there's 16 gigs of RAM in that, so I should probably shove some of that in here. I think what I need to do is just disassemble both. Find a good, strong power supply, and then reassemble them in some way, and then donate one of them to my house's, because my little small projector is now permanently in the living room.
Nice.
People keep having to cart their laptops down. I'm like, okay, well, I have a PC I could just put in the basement, and if it's just iPlayer and fucking MKV files, no graphics card isn't a problem, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's not that much of an ass to tote your laptop around, is it?
Yeah, but I mean, it also
the point of a laptop.
Yeah, but I just mean it would be easier if everyone just that way. If someone has an external hard drive, they could just plug it in and leave it there.
Sure.
Or just download to it.
Yeah. A
home theater PC. I mean, if there's a spare box in the house, it just makes everything easier.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Remember, there's 6 of us in the house, so there's a lot of swapping around.
Oh,
well, that sounds way dirtier than I meant.
I mean, Corona's rife in there. Must be.
Oh yeah,
do not go to Adam's house.
If one of us gets Corona, we're all gonna.
Let's motherboards.
Let's stop there.
Let's talk about our beers, shall we? For me.
Drivers.
Always clean your drivers, especially in these times. I think for me this week, two very, very different beers. Mind Control from Left Handed Giant was an IPA, and the Vibrant Forest Emperors Brewery collaboration Yub Nub being the barley wine. Both good. The Mind Control was, I think, a pretty standard IPA from, I would say, like a couple of years ago when grapefruit was rife everywhere, when we kind of expected just a solid IPA or a like a craft beer IPA, you know, like solid grapefruit notes, a little bit, very slight bitterness to it. You don't know that it's 6.5%, feels a bit more sessionable. Very easy drinking, just a really good beer to have. The Yub Nub.
Sorry.
I mean, it is comical every time I say it.
You have to say Yub Nub.
Yub Nub. Each Yub Nub. It was really good. I'm not the biggest fan of licorice, but this presented it and gave it to me in a very light and digestible kind of way, whilst pairing it with a little bit of sweetness as well. Just giving a little bit more and a little bit of spice as well with that ginger in there, making something that kind of makes you think, ooh, and then just kicks in. You think, oh, okay, there's something to this, and then mellows out very, very slightly with a little bit of sweetness. I think it was just really well balanced, really well made. And like, I love everything that Left Handed Giant do. Almost every beer we have from them is like, yes, this is a solid beer. I've yet to drink a beer that has had Emperor's Brewery collaborate on that has not been phenomenal. So I mean, he knows exactly what he is doing, and you can see that with him now going and collaborating with Vibrant Forest and Northern Monk and other, you know, with all of these other people, and going to the bottle shop and saying, hey, have you got the new Emperor's collaboration, which was called like the Macalorian, because it was like a macchiato stout or something like that, and then going, no, it's sold out within like the first day we had it here. So again, like just really well made, well balanced. You do not know it's 12.7%. You'd know it's slightly higher, and a slightly bigger alcohol content, but nowhere near 12.5%. So yeah, I think Yub Nub just picks it, and it's just different enough that I rarely have barley wines. I rarely have beers that have got that sort of licorice and that bite to them that this has. But that worked really well. And again, I'm going to go downstairs in a minute. I'm going to see what Kim's doing. I'm going to smash back a couple of shots of Jaeger.
Jesus.
So it works perfectly.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the perfect evening.
Exactly. Lucy. Do you have a preference this week?
Yeah.
Wader or Groff?
Gruff, yeah. Both Gipsy Hill beers, both really good, really easy drinking. The Maybach, from a pure novelty point of view, don't usually have, you know, that style. Especially in, you know, the craft scene like lager. But yeah, it started tasting a bit more malty, and it's still had a nice bit of spice, nice bit of nuttiness to it. So yeah, it was a really nice, easy drinking. But the Wader, it was just a very, very, very... I wouldn't say it's balanced, because as I said, it had a lot of pininess, but it's like that pininess worked, even though it like overshadowed like some of that citrus fruit, and you had that long tail, which was just bitter and piney.
Yep.
That pininess just tasted so good that I have to give it to the Wader this week. Like,
nice.
I don't know. It's a bit weird. I'd say that, taking you on a journey and a bit more balanced is the red Maybach, but in terms of what I want to drink, it is just the Wader. It's like, like really soft, really juicy. Has that bitterness, that pininess that's not too overbearing, but you can still taste it, and it taste like a beer, even though it has, it's not that hoppy, or it's got that like juicy kind of, pulpy, juicy kind of texture to it, but it still tastes like a beer. So
Good.
maybe that's just what I think.
Nice.
Maybe
That's
it's because
fair.
I had that
Sounds good.
lager earlier. That's why another lager just wasn't as good. But-
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, that Wader IPA is really good.
Nice. Good.
Yeah.
Adel, how about you?
I liked both of these. They were both. I mean, the theme of this week was fucking random tastes, basically.
Yeah.
Right? I had a carrot saison and a wedding cake porter.
A wedding
And-
carrot cake.
No. I mean, if I mixed them in the same glass, yeah.
Yep, swirl them together. Done.
I'm
You
gonna
could blend,
say
you could blend,
Jaeger
see
in
what's
the
going on. Yeah,
glass.
bit of Jaeger
I'm
in
going to
there.
say something weird, which is I preferred the 3.5 to the 11.5.
Ooh, okay.
So the wedding imperial cake thing, what I liked about it was when it wasn't doing the wedding cake thing, when it was just like hey, you made an imperial porter and you put some coffee, and like the vanilla and almond I really liked. Did not like the cake part. I found that
Sure.
but also, like, even though it all melded well and there was like a really good taste curve, which is again my bread and butter or my cake and icing, as the case may be, it still felt kind of like things were just happening a little more haphazardly, and like that carrot saison with whatever purple haze carrots are, I don't know, but those charred lemons were doing that smokiness so
Carrots
well.
with weed.
Grown exclusively
right?
by
That's-
Jimi Hendrix.
When I read purple haze
They've been
carrots,
around
I'm
for like the
do
last
I
30
not
years.
know carrots or do I not know weed? Because I clearly don't know one of them. So even though it was not very alcoholic, it didn't not taste like beer, and it had some really interesting tastes. And like I said, the smokiness gave way to the sort of more vegetable sweetness, and that again had a really nice taste curve. They both had good curves. I felt like there was more interesting taste going on with the weaker one, in the sense of 3.5%. It was a better tasting beer, and I think it's a testament that I'm not just the guy who says stout shouldn't be 4%. Fuck you, because this week I'm saying I don't care what the percentage is.
Sure.
Tastes are more interesting here, and yes,
You're
there
no
was a
longer Sam
booziness.
Porter Bridges.
Sorry.
You're no longer Sam Porter Bridges.
Yeah. I
Bugs
got
Bunny.
rid of that.
You're just standard Norman Readers.
I like both of these beers, but I think that the more consistent beer and the more interesting beer, especially considering they're both really random tastes, was the carrot saison, but not because it was a carrot saison, but because it was a charred lemon on the back end. Carrot
Yeah,
saison.
that smokiness that you got from
exactly.
it.
It worked
Sounds
really
really
well,
interesting.
and it blended really well with whatever the carrotiness. The imperial wedding cake break from Evil Twin was like kind of the opposite. It was like when it was doing the non-wedding cake things, it was interesting. When it was doing the wedding cake thing, it was like I'm doing that, and they didn't meld well. And
Yeah. That's what I find a lot about Evil Twins beers. It's like, oh, this sounds interesting, but it just comes off as like kind of phoned in. But it's like kind of weird for the sake of being weird.
yeah,
Artificial
I think that's-
tasting.
Yeah, I think that's a good way of putting it. Was like pudding. Hey, it feels like it was shoehorned in. Like if you had just made an imperial porter with some coffee, vanilla, and almond, it would have been a really interesting beer. But then you're like, I don't know, let's add this extra thing, and then the extra thing didn't do enough, and it kind of like hijacked what I liked about the rest.
Yeah.
Again, it's not a bad beer by any stretch. I just think that like what I liked about the duration deep roots was more consistent and also more interesting. And let's be honest, I kind of like that the thing that was most interesting to me wasn't really at the forefront of the tin. It was just a thing I had to discover.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Like, that's good marketing. I like the fact that the charred lemons were just like, yeah, charred lemons. And it's like, oh no, that's what makes this beer for me, was the charred lemons. And I didn't expect that, and I was like, wait, what is going on? I have to read your tin now.
Yeah.
Evil Twin has always felt like the try-hard little brother of like Nikella. It's like,
that's poignant
me.
and kind of rough, but I think you are correct.
It's always felt like that to me. It's like, I want to break off on my own and want to be, bigger and better than you, older brother, but
yeah.
So I'm going to do wild and bizarre things, but just doesn't go there. But that's just personal.
Yeah.
We'll finish there for this week with that juicy Lucy take.
Yay.
We've all enjoyed our beers, of course. Hopefully you're at home enjoying beers as well. You can get a hold of us at tackedup_cast on Twitter or on Instagram and let us know the beers that you're drinking. You can also come to the Out of Lives Discord server to join in.
We'll blast the invite link on our social medias after the episode drops.
Yeah. So you can come and join us. Join in on the Jackbox or gaming nights that we are having. If you're at home by yourself, with your family, with anyone else, and you just want, someone else to talk to, we're here. Come and chat to us about your games, about your beers, about absurd political takes. We'll respond to fucking everything. I am at Nova_47. Lucy is...
I am Juicy Loose 9, and I want to bring back this quickfire round.
Ooh.
Ben, what are you playing this week? And Dale, what are you playing this week?
Oh, I've started Phoenix Point.
Okay.
I have to play Zombie Army 4. I've been sitting on a review code for ages, but also I might play FF7.
No.
How about you, Lucy?
I will continue Doom Eternal and Mutazione. Yeah.
Nice.
Sorry,
Good.
I like that round.
That's good, yeah.
No, I really like that. I think
That's
that's so. I've got my review roundup where I just, if there are Steam reviews, I say the things, and I like that Lucy has a fuck it. What are you gonna play? A last minute move. I like that a lot.
Nice.
But yeah, it's Juicy Loose 9 everywhere. Tell me what you're playing while we're in lockdown.
Good. Adol, how about you?
I'm at the Omniarch on all the things, except Twitch, where I'm at the_Omniarch, and I may actually stream.
Yeah. We should do a co-op stream.
Well, yeah, so I guess the thing is, like,
I have no idea how to do that.
Out of live streams. This is like some inside baseball, but certain things probably aren't, and so I think if I play games this week, I think I'll stream them.
Mm-hmm.
I think if there's like Jackbox, etc., it'll be on the Out of Lives account. But if I start a run on FF7, I think it'll be me, and Out of Lives might just sort of like host that stream.
Yeah,
I will join in, and I will be like, "What the hell is this you're playing?"
And I'll be like, "Chocobos, Lucy, Chocobos."
As soon as he gets the golden saucer, you're just like, "Nope,
yeah,
I'm done." Yeah. I'm done with all these little mini games.
What if no one had fingers in the entire world, yet they could grip swords? What if that happened?
Why
that is FF7.
Is a polygon anime boy.
Yeah, so we'll blast our Discord link. We haven't really been pushing the social media stuff that much because, like, we're not going to be oppressive, but, like, given the state of the world, join us. We'll play games together, and at the very least, like, it's a place where you can talk shit with people when you're staying
absolutely
home.
Yeah,
and that's all we care about. It's literally just like, hey, maybe this will help you.
I talk a lot of garbage on there.
Oh, we all do. Yeah,
if
absolutely.
you can surpass me, it's impossible.
It's all full of hot takes. Come and insert your own hot take. So yes, insert your hot take, please.
Let's end.
She said.
For another week, we've been tanked up. Bye bye.
Bye.
Ciao.
www.outoflives.net